It was a quiet Sunday morning at the luxurious Grant mansion. The sunlight spilled through the tall glass windows, bouncing off marble floors so polished you could see your reflection. The house smelled like roses and fresh coffee. But behind that perfection, something dark was brewing. Ethan Grant, the youngest billionaire in New York, was finally home after a week of business meetings overseas. Everyone in the house adored him, except one person, his fiancée, Vanessa Blake. She was stunning, elegant, and famous for her beauty on social media. But behind closed doors, she was a different woman. Cold, controlling, and arrogant. The only one who truly sensed it was the maid, Amara, a quiet black woman in her early 30s. Amara had been working in the Grant family for years. She was kind, humble, and always treated Ethan's mother, Margaret, like her own. That morning, Margaret, a gentle older woman, had come downstairs with a smile. She had arthritis, so Amara always helped her walk. "Good morning, Mrs. Grant," Amara said warmly, holding her arm. Margaret smiled. "You're too kind, dear. I don't know what I'd do without you." Just then, Vanessa entered the kitchen wearing a silk robe and holding her phone. She glanced at Amara with disgust. "You're still here? I thought I told you to clean the living room first." Amara lowered her eyes respectfully. "Yes, ma'am." "I was just helping Mrs. Grant." "Don't talk back to me," Vanessa snapped. "You people always have excuses." The words hit like a slap. Margaret's face went pale. "Vanessa!" "That's enough." But Vanessa just smirked. "I'm not doing anything wrong, Mother." She's paid to work, not to chat. The maid stepped back quietly. She had learned to take the insults silently. But that morning she saw something in Margaret's eyes, pain, humiliation. A few minutes later, as Margaret tried to sit down, her teacup slipped and spilled onto Vanessa's robe. "Are you kidding me?" Vanessa screamed. "You ruined my outfit." "It was an accident, dear," Margaret said softly, trembling. Vanessa grabbed her wrist hard. "Do you have any idea how much this costs? You're just useless!" Amara froze. For a second, she wanted to scream, to stop her. But she didn't dare. She could lose her job. She looked toward the door, hoping Ethan would walk in. But he was still at the airport. "Let her go!" Amara said finally, her voice shaking. Vanessa turned sharply. "Excuse me?" "I said let her go." "She's your future mother-in-law!" The silence that followed was heavy. Vanessa glared at her like a queen scolding a servant. "Who do you think you are?" Vanessa hissed. "You're just a maid. Don't forget your place." But Amara didn't look away this time. Something inside her had broken. At that moment, the front door opened. Ethan stepped in, tired but smiling. "Mom, Vanessa! I'm home." His words stopped when he saw the scene. His mother's red wrist, Amara's trembling hands, and Vanessa's angry face. "What's going on here?" he demanded. Vanessa quickly changed her tone. "Oh, thank God you're here, babe. Your maid spilled tea everywhere and almost made your mom fall." "I was just helping." Amara's heart sank. She knew what was coming. The rich always believed their own. But this time something different happened. Ethan's eyes narrowed. He noticed the bruise on his mother's wrist. He looked at Amara, her eyes full of truth and fear. "Mom," he said quietly, "is that true?" Margaret hesitated. She didn't want to create conflict. "It's fine, Ethan, it was just—" But Amara stepped forward. Her voice cracked. "No, sir, it wasn't an accident." Miss Vanessa grabbed her. "I saw it." Vanessa gasped. "You liar!" Ethan's face hardened. The room fell silent. He turned to Vanessa. "Go upstairs, now." "Ethan, you can't believe her." "She's—" "Now!" he roared, his voice shaking the chandelier above them. Vanessa stormed upstairs, slamming the door. Ethan turned to Amara. "Thank you for standing up for my mom." Not everyone would. Tears filled Amara's eyes. "I just did what was right, sir." He nodded. "And I'll make sure you're protected for it." But deep inside, Ethan knew something darker was going on. This wasn't the first time Vanessa had crossed the line, and it wouldn't be the last. If you think Amara did the right thing, type "Justice for Amara" in the comments, where Ethan uncovers a shocking truth that changes everything. Ethan didn't sleep that night. He kept replaying the scene in his head. His mother's trembling hands, Vanessa's fake tears and Amara's courage. The woman who had silently worked for his family for years had risked everything just to speak the truth. That meant something. The next morning, Ethan walked into his office in the mansion, still in his robe. His assistant, Mr. Lewis, was already waiting. "Cancel my meetings for today," Ethan said flatly. "I've got something personal to handle." "Yes, sir." Ethan poured himself a coffee and stared out the window. He could see Amara in the garden, helping his mother water the flowers. Even after what happened, she was still working with the same calmness and respect. He couldn't help but feel guilty. Guilty that he hadn't noticed Vanessa's cruelty earlier. At breakfast, Vanessa finally came downstairs, wearing a perfect designer dress and a fake smile. "Good morning, sweetheart," she said sweetly, leaning to kiss him. Ethan pulled back. "We need to talk." She frowned. "About what?" He looked her straight in the eye. "About yesterday." Vanessa sighed dramatically. "Oh, Ethan, please don't tell me you believe that Maid story. You know how these people are. They twist things for attention." Ethan's jaw tightened. "These people? Do you hear yourself? She's lying," Vanessa snapped. "Your mother spilled her tea and I was trying to help her. By grabbing her wrist hard enough to leave a bruise?" Her face turned red. "You're exaggerating." Ethan stood up, his voice calm but sharp. "No, Vanessa. You're the one who's been exaggerating about who you are. I've been blind, but not anymore." Vanessa tried to laugh it off. "Oh, come on, babe. You're upset. Let's not ruin our morning." He didn't smile. "I'm done being manipulated. From now on, you treat my family and every person in this house with respect, or you're gone." Her expression changed instantly. "Are you threatening me?" she hissed. Ethan didn't answer. He simply walked away. That afternoon, Amara was in the laundry room when she heard footsteps. She turned and froze. Vanessa stood there, arms crossed, her face cold as ice. "So," Vanessa said slowly, "you think you're brave now?" Amara stayed quiet. "You little snake," Vanessa whispered. "You think Ethan's going to believe you over me? You're just a maid. I could have you fired in a second." Amara's hands shook, but she didn't step back. "I don't care if I lose my job. What you did was wrong," Vanessa smirked. "Oh, sweetie, you have no idea what's wrong. I could destroy your life if I wanted to. People like you, poor, weak, you don't matter." The words stung, but Amara held her ground. "People like me? I may be poor, but I have something you'll never have. Decency." Vanessa's eyes burned with anger. "You'll regret this." She stormed out, slamming the door behind her. Amara exhaled shakily. She didn't know Ethan had overheard the whole thing. He had come downstairs quietly, hearing Vanessa's venom from the hallway. His face hardened. For the first time, he saw her true nature, not just arrogance, but cruelty. That evening, he invited a lawyer friend, David Cross, to the mansion. David was not just any lawyer. He specialized in property and prenuptial cases. "Ethan, what's going on?" David asked as they sat in the study. Ethan handed him a file. "I want you to check this. Vanessa's been pushing me to sign some property transfer documents. Says it's for trust reasons. I have a bad feeling about it." David scanned the papers and raised his eyebrows. "You're right to be suspicious. If you had signed this, half your estate would be under her name immediately after the wedding." Ethan clenched his fists. "So she planned it all along." "She's smart and dangerous," David said. "But she made a mistake. This gives you leverage." Ethan nodded. "I'll handle it." The next morning, Ethan invited everyone to the living room. Vanessa, his mother, and Amara. "Vanessa," he began, "you've accused Amara of lying, but I've checked the security cameras." Vanessa froze. "What cameras?" "The ones near the dining area," he said coldly. "They captured everything." "Every word, every moment." Her face went pale. Ethan turned to Amara. "You don't have to be afraid anymore." Amara looked down, tears forming in her eyes. "Thank you, sir." Vanessa tried to speak, but Ethan raised his hand. "No, you've shown me who you truly are. You insulted the woman who raised me and the person who protects her every day. You've used me for money, fame, and control." "It's over." Vanessa's voice cracked. "You can't just throw me out. You'll regret this." Ethan shook his head. "No, Vanessa. The only regret I have is not seeing the truth sooner. She stormed out, screaming and throwing things, but no one stopped her this time. When the door finally slammed shut, silence filled the mansion. Margaret reached for Ethan's hand. "You did the right thing, son." Ethan smiled faintly. "I should have done it earlier." Then he turned to Amara. "You saved my mother from more than just pain." "Amara, you saved this family." Amara shook her head. "I didn't do it for that, sir. I just couldn't stay silent." "That's what makes you stronger than any of us," Ethan said softly. "From now on, you're not just our maid. You're part of this family." Tears fell down Amara's cheeks, but this time they were tears of relief. If you think Ethan did the right thing by trusting Amara, comment "Truth always wins," where Amara's act of kindness brings an even bigger twist no one saw coming. Ethan didn't see Vanessa again after that day. Her things were packed, her social accounts blocked, and her name erased from his world. But what she left behind was heavier than any material loss. It was the reminder of how blind he had been. Days passed quietly in the mansion. Margaret, Ethan's mother, was recovering well. The bruises on her wrist faded, but Ethan knew the emotional scars would take longer to heal. Amara kept her distance for a while. She didn't want to intrude even after Ethan's kind words. She still woke early, did her chores, and kept her routine the same. Though deep down, something had changed. She felt seen. One afternoon, while Amara was cleaning the study, Ethan walked in holding a small envelope. "Amara," he said gently, "can you sit for a moment?" She hesitated. "Sir, I still have the hallway to—" "Please," he interrupted softly. "Just sit." She obeyed, sitting on the edge of the couch, her hands folded neatly in her lap. Ethan handed her the envelope. "I want you to open this." Inside was a bank check, an amount so large it made her heart skip. Her eyes widened. "Sir, this can't be right." "It is," Ethan replied. "You've worked for my family for 6 years. You've never once taken a day off, and last week you saved my mother's dignity and probably my future. This is not charity, it's gratitude." Tears filled her eyes. "I can't accept this. I was just doing what was right." Ethan smiled gently. "That's exactly why you deserve it." Amara shook her head. "Sir, I don't want money. I just want peace. I came here to work hard to earn enough to send my little sister to school back home. That's all I want." Ethan's eyes softened. "Then let me help with that." She looked up. "What do you mean?" "I found out where your sister studies. Starting today, her tuition and living expenses are fully paid for as long as she wants to study. She doesn't have to worry about anything." Amara covered her mouth, tears falling freely now. "Sir, I don't know what to say." Ethan smiled faintly. "Just say you'll keep believing in good people." "Because the world needs more like you." Amara nodded slowly, unable to speak. Months passed. Vanessa tried to make a scene online, spreading lies about Ethan and his family. But her plan failed. Ethan's legal team silenced every false post within days. Her reputation fell faster than she could recover it. Meanwhile, the mansion changed. It didn't feel cold anymore. There was laughter at breakfast, warmth in every room, and peace that money couldn't buy. Amara had become more than an employee. She was family now. Ethan's mother often told her stories from her younger days, and sometimes she even joined them at the dinner table. Ethan found himself drawn to Amara's kindness more and more. He'd watch how she spoke softly to the staff, how she checked on his mother before bed, and how she never once acted entitled. One evening, after dinner, Ethan found her outside under the stars, sitting on the old bench near the garden. "You like this spot, huh?" he asked, walking up beside her. Amara smiled shyly. "It's quiet, peaceful." He sat beside her. "I used to sit here with my dad when I was a kid. He used to say this garden teaches you more about life than any business class ever could." What did he mean by that? "That patience grows roots deeper than pride," Ethan said softly. "You've shown me that, Amara." She turned to him, surprised. "I didn't do anything special." "You did," Ethan said. "You reminded me what truly matters: respect, compassion, and courage." Amara looked down, her cheeks warm. "Thank you, sir." He smiled. "You can stop calling me sir." She laughed nervously. "That's a hard habit to break." "Then start practicing," he said gently. There was silence for a moment, broken only by the sound of the night breeze and the faint rustle of the trees. Ethan looked at her, his voice sincere. Amara, I don't know what the future holds. But I do know this. My family wouldn't be standing today if not for you. I owe you more than I can ever repay. Amara shook her head. You don't owe me anything. Ethan, you already gave me more than I could dream of. You gave me respect. He smiled. Then maybe one day, I'll give you something even greater. Trust, friendship. Maybe love. Amara's eyes widened slightly, but she didn't pull away. She didn't answer either. She just smiled softly. The kind of smile that said everything words couldn't. Years later, the mansion looked different. There were more flowers in the garden, children's laughter echoing down the halls, and peace that felt permanent. Ethan and Amara's story had become the kind people whispered about. How a billionaire found love not in money or beauty, but in the heart of a woman who stood up for what was right. Margaret often said it best. Money can build a house, but kindness makes it a home. And in that home, love finally lived again. If you believe that kindness always wins, type "respect is stronger than money" in the comments. Follow for more powerful human stories like this.